Because a lot of times the very first thing when you get into an interview, they're going to say, tell me about yourself. And I can't tell you how many people start off and say, well, I'm 25 years old. I have 2 children. That's the first thing that they say. And that's the reason why they ask you, tell me about yourself, because they're trying to see what red flags you're going to give away.
And you already gave away the red flags once you said, I'm 25, I have 2 children. And then, and is that a trick question though? I mean, is it like they're setting you up for failure in a sense if you don't know when you're going in that into that atmosphere when they ask, hey, tell me about yourself, and then you immediately go to, I'm 25, I have 2 children, because in hindsight you're proud to be 25,
right?
And you're proud to have 2 children. So when someone asks you those questions, those are the first 2 things that come up. Right. But what should the first 2 things come up when someone asks you, tell me about yourself? What should the response be?
You should probably start off talking about something related to the job. So maybe how many years you have in the industry. You can talk about your experience. You can talk about your education. You can talk about why you applied for the job. Where you at in your career at this particular point. I always tell people to have a 60-second commercial. And normally whenever, I'm going through interviews, I normally just write mine down. And I just talk about, that I have a very diverse background, and maybe talk about some of the things that I have experience in. All of it should be relative to the job. From the moment you start talking, you are selling yourself. From the time you walk through the door to the time you leave, you are selling yourself. So you want to right away let them know why you're the best person from the job. So you don't want to start talking about all these things that have nothing to do with the reason, why you're there. And, is it a trick question? I wouldn't really say it's a trick question. It's an industry standard. I've been a hiring manager before, and that was the first thing that I said, because I wanted to see, what are you going to tell me about yourself? And, are you going to, tell me something? I'm like, oh, okay. This person has 3 children and they don't have a car. And am I going to hire them? Probably not, because you have 2 obstacles already that's probably going to stop you from being here and being here on time, So, you should really just have a 60-second commercial prepared, or what they call an elevator speech. And you should just pretty much know off the top of your head, that's going to be the first thing. So let me just, start off with a bang, and let me just start off selling myself.
Right. So in technical terms, it's called an elevator. You said an elevator speech?
Elevator. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the concept behind that is, if you were in an elevator with someone, and from the time you get in the elevator to you get up to whatever floor you're going to, you should be able to sell yourself in the elevator. So like if you're in an elevator with someone 20 seconds, 30 seconds, perhaps, what would you say about yourself? If you walked into the room and, there was the CEO of the company or the hiring manager or an influencer, what would you say to that person in the elevator? So that's why it's called an elevator speech.